Hello and welcome. I thought it would be best for me to preface all of this first by framing my own thoughts on STARFIELD. I wasn't actually tracking STARFIELD, and I didn't actually know that it was a thing until the first time that I saw the teaser that was actually launched just the other day. First, it looks awesome, and as a person who has hundreds and hundreds of hours in both Fallout and Borderlands, I know that I'm probably going to spend hundreds or even thousands of hours in STARFIELD. Second, I don't understand why there are people posting shit hatred in Spectrum about the announcement. Just because two things may look similar doesn't mean that you can only choose one. And it doesn't mean that you need to bash or hate on something just to justify your faith in something else or justify perhaps a multiple $1,000 investment in Star Citizen. You bought chips. That doesn't mean you can't like something else. Playing STARFIELD or being excited about it isn't like cheating on your husband or wife. Please remember that if you're a gamer, then your entire goal is to game and have fun. So yes, I will play the shit out of STARFIELD, and I may even make content or stream it. And no, that does not mean I am any less of a Star Citizen fan, and it won't diminish any of my passion or love or anticipation for it. If you're hungry now, but you put a lasagna in the oven and you know it's not going to be ready for 2 hours, then why suffer? It's perfectly fine to have a snack rather than be hungry just to be faithful to the lasagna. The lasagna doesn't care. You may actually enjoy the lasagna more when it's ready. You're not completely famished. And the point is, I'm not married to the lasagna, so why do I need to be faithful to it? Anyways, as you may have guessed, STARFIELD is the thing that everyone's talking about now, and I think it's great because I think that this in the game industry will push Star Citizen to be even better. STARFIELD is due to release within a year, and no, I don't think this is any kind of death sentence for Star Citizen, just as Elite Dangerous came and has been forgotten. Star Citizen is still fine as long as the money keeps coming in, and it'll continue to evolve regardless. You can be a fan of neither, either, or both. Moving into the main point, as this is loosely part of community concerns, I should say that this is part of a larger series and it's part of its own playlist. I publish community concerns videos on Tuesday, and I usually comment on threads in Spectrum with a good banter back and forth. They take time to research, so I always appreciate your support by engaging in the comments and sharing with your friends or org mates to help spread the word. We begin with the threads. Citizen Foxy posted a fantastic and constructive thread, loosely titled Things I Hope CIG Takes Away from STARFIELD. They asked for calm and stated similarly to my intro that the community should calm down a full magnitude and focus on what's important. They went through the STARFIELD trailer and created a list of suggestions that CIG may like to add to the game. My own thoughts as a content creator as a sidebar is that in my 10 years of following the game and about 8 years of making content for it, CIG won't and doesn't hear what we say, or at least they do have their own vision. Within reason, I can post anything and even get a ton of support from you guys, the audience, in the comments. But without that full, clear vision, I can only comment on what I see and what I know. I love what Foxy's doing here, but I also know that many of these suggestions would probably add another 2 or 3 years to an already long development. At this point, I'm very interested to get closer to some kind of viable product and a tangible release, and then we can worry about all this pretty stuff. It seems like we've spent 10 years polishing something to realize that it's not what we need and to start fresh to polish a new something. Tangent over, we continue. Foxy felt the hand mining tool seemed to be better in the demo. The current outpost concepts for Pyro look great, but Foxy said that they would like to see a full-size colony outpost with larger multi-story buildings. They said that planets with a brutal environment would spice things up somewhere where we couldn't venture outside. Glass domes, more diversity in biomes, and a bunch of other suggestions. My observations about their observations is that it's almost certain that CIG already have plans for this. You only need to look at New Babbage to see what's possible. You only need to consider that we only have a single solar system with several main landing zones. You only need to consider that diversity in biomes will come, and we're sure to get that planet type that you can't venture out in without the security of an installation. They ended by saying that historically, Bethesda games are good, but they're mainstream. They also said that despite looking similar, one won't invalidate the other, and it's important to see what works best in each and move forward. Thunder Force had the most upvoted reply and was a little bit cynical. They suggested that Star Citizen has proven to be the most tedious project in history, with the desire only to delay and waste time. I do feel that feature creep, even now in 2022, is the only challenge. Not server meshing, not the server tech, not the game loops. Tedium and creep are the cause of the wait, but hopefully the payout can still be what we want. games will come and go, and we should play them, enjoy them, without concern that we're not being faithful to Star Citizen. We have paid to support, and to be honest, that should be all CIG expects from you, the backer. Live your life, enjoy your time the best way that you can, because yes, it's possible to truly enjoy the friendship and gameplay that Star Citizen delivers, but perhaps consider that you can also achieve that elsewhere. Anyways, some commented either for or against many of the functions and features of each games. Many commented on the merits of each, but many also said that they want CIG to not look at Starfield. They want CIG to focus on finishing what they had planned and how they envision things to release. Finish the game the way you planned, now without further course correction and without further feature creep. The fear and tedium is that by the time you finish that Picasso, someone may have come along and created a couple of great Mona Lisas. Comment in the comments. What are your plans? Are you going to play it? Next, this was the thread that lit Spectrum on fire. 846 replies, 164 Picards, 72 clown faces, 24 shit emojis, and 18 confused faces. Moderated heavily and then moderated fermé, which is closed in French. I'm sure it was going south, but I'm very sad that a toxic few fans couldn't keep their shit together enough to have a decent discussion rather than devolving into a flame war. This is where all of what I said at the start comes into play full force. It's okay to like both. You don't need to attack another fan just to prove to Chris how deep your support goes. Anyways, dipping a toe in is never enough, so let's just get it over with and jump in. Citizen Jiggletea, who has recently been banned for 3 days and who has been a backer since 2018 at a high admiral level, posted their observations. They seem to have placed a bunch of effort and thought into this post. They highlighted the size of each development team, the scope and scale of each project, and even what advantages each project may have had at the beginning when they started their game. Bethesda is a multi-AAA company with a long line of platinum titles including Oblivion, Skyrim, Fallout, plus all of the DLC and mods that go with them. The OP got a little bit spicy when they asked, why are we still waiting for Squadron 42 if a smaller company with a much smaller budget can seemingly come out of the shadows and announce a massive title to be released in the next 12 months? They spoke about the similarities, hundreds of systems, thousands of planets, possible co-op, similar game loops, fully modular ships that you can actually build yourself like Lego. Great looking textures, possible atmospheric flight, and all of that for $80. Right? A normal game. No fuss, no drama. They ended by saying that it was some sort of a slap in the face to all the Star Citizen backers. And before we get into the comments, I'm going to say no. The scope and scale means that despite releasing sooner with similar looking parts, Starfield will not play like Star Citizen. It's going to play more like No Man's Sky, taking cues from Skyrim and Fallout. Skyrim in space, Fallout in space, not Star Citizen. I don't fully agree that this is a slap in the face, but it's a fucking wake-up call that we all knew was coming. We all knew that eventually, if progress was to continue at this rate, that we're going to be in Alpha 368 in 2042, and Star Citizen's going to look less like a next-gen game and more like the origins of Wing Commander. The most voted up reply was from Scrundle, and they said exactly what I thought. Why not enjoy both? Because it's fine to have two games. One does not replace the other, just like it's okay for you to watch my content and then watch Morphologist and then watch Board Gamer and Ryan and Redlear and everyone else. It's the same. You can like YouTube and Twitch at the same time. You can like Star Citizen, Starfield, Eve, Elite, No Man's Sky, Cyberpunk, Solitaire, Minesweeper, Pong, Overwatch, whatever. Just be a gamer and game. AR Chadman clarified that they feel the OP was simply stating that they were disappointed at the rate of development. The OP has highlighted funding, staff, and time to highlight that CIG needs to get their shit together and focus. I would argue that we're already witnessing this fire with the acquisition of a 1,000-person building and moving Jared from the US to the UK and all of the other stuff. Things seem to be ramping up. You could say, why wasn't this done before? And I can say back to you that it takes money to make money. And don't forget, COVID can be seen as a 2-year setback. They also said Starfield lacks the complexity of an MMO because it isn't and won't be more than a single player or co-op. Starfield will release with many similar looking features that are promised within the vision of Star Citizen, and they ended by saying that they don't expect to see Star Citizen for at least 3 to 6 years, so why not enjoy Starfield? Tal Aldo agreed with that take, and they hope that this pressure will push CIG to ramp up and deliver. They did say that it isn't the Star Citizen MMO that needs to be worried, but actually Squadron 42. They said that they feel that they may play through Squadrons once or twice, but historically games like Skyrim or Fallout end up being played for thousands thousands and thousands of hours, and they expect Starfield to be the same, and I also echo their thoughts. Even if Squadron and Starfield released at the same time, based on what I see and what I believe, Squadron may have 1 or 2 months, and then it'll taper off. But I can see Starfield having a huge audience for years and years, just like Skyrim. Just look at the stats on Steam. Many others commented that the two games are too dissimilar to compare. Some said that they really want an MMO and don't give a shit about single-player or co-op games, and I had such a fun time reading this locked thread. I wish it was left unlocked for a little bit longer, and I wish that the moderators simply chose to moderate individuals that were misbehaving rather than needing to lock it down, because I feel that we could have learned so much more from everyone's opinion. I'm going to stop here for the week. Those two threads are linked in the description, and I have a parting question. Do you feel that this is exactly the pressure that we need? Are you excited for Starfield? Will you play and take a break from Star Citizen while we wait for something new to be patched in? Are you worried that Chris may actually try to do a double down and refactor the plan, resulting in even more creep? Comment your comments in the comments. This is such a great topic, and it's important for you to share with others so that we can all learn. Don't leave here with the wrong impression. You can love two games, just like I will. Liking one does not invalidate the love for another. Fly safe, and I'll see you in the verse.